Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 13, Episode 2. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Dita and Erica are having a picnic in the cold. Okay? And Dita, you ain't slick. Okay, see, what you did was you made sure Erica went out there and ate in that cold to punish her. You trying to punish her for how she been acting. But no, in all seriousness, you know the heifers get together in the middle of Beverly Hills to do absolutely asinine things like put on parkas and eat in the middle of the grass. So Dorita's telling Erica that she didn't like the fact that she didn't lead with an apology when they were at the retreat. So Erica is telling her that she just sold it to people. She went out there, she said what she said, but she's very sorry and she feels like she has to make it right with Dorita because she really cares about her. She's like, well, I appreciate. She's like, no, I'm sorry. I have to make it right. Like, I have to. You don't understand. I have to. Dorita, I know you ain't buying this little act. This woman don't even know what empathy is. So you think that today she just decided, I have to make this right. There's no other way around it. So Dorita's telling her about what they were going through, her and PK, that is. So it really hurt because anything that she said about their marriage at that time would have really upset her. Well, child, I guess that's what she was picking up on. That's why she said it. But what I'm trying to figure out is, where did this failing marriage all of a sudden come from? Because last season, Dorita was acting like everything was fine. All we had to go off was the home invasion. Now this season, they're falling the hell apart. Child, moving forward. So Dorita tells this story. Now, I'm really finna break this story down. I'm really finna get into it. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Okay, leave your theories down below. Dorita tells the story of how she went to the bank during Christmas time to take out $10,000 for Christmas gifts. She had her purse in the cart. When she got to the register, it was gone. So she goes and looks at the surveillance camera and it shows that she was being followed by 3 men. Now, initially upon hearing that, I was thinking to myself, Dorita, this is not 1976. Why did you take $10,000? You took out $10,000. Okay, shout out to Nene. So you took $10,000 out of the bank instead of using one of those Amexes or MasterCards or Visas. I mean, honey, do y'all even carry MasterCards and Visas, honey? What? You went and got $10,000 out of the bank? Now, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of target is going on. Now, I'm not blaming you, Dorita, but you know good and dang on well that you are on a hit show and you have your purse in the cart. No, ma'am. Okay. And then I also was thinking, like, did you turn around at any point? Nobody saw them take the purse? Like, I have so many questions. Where exactly were you? A cart? Were you in Walmart? Honey, I know y'all in the Neiman's with no cart. I know you are not in Cartier with no cart. I just trying to figure out, where was Dorita? Maybe she was in Target. That's a little bit more upper echelon than Walmart. But $10,000 you took out of the bank to shop for Christmas presents. And now I will say this. There has been a string of robberies here in Houston where people are telling you from the bank all the way to your residence. One family got followed all the way from the bank to their residence. They went inside to start taking things inside, came back, was completely wiped out. They had stolen everything out of the car because they had been following them. So I do believe that that type of thing happens, but I just have so many questions, and it's just so hard for me to believe anything, especially after last year's, break-in. It's like you got robbed again, girl. Something just ain't right. I don't know what it is, but by the end of this season, I'm going to figure it out. So she basically said that took her back to the robbery. And I was just like, man, I can really understand her having PTSD and anxiety, but I'm going to need you to get rid of PK. Because, baby, you getting robbed left and right. Okay, it's something just not adding up, baby. The math ain't mathing. So Erica apologizes again for her part, and she apologized for hurting Dorita, and she wants to be moving forward. So, baby, they're going to move forward and whatnot. In the next scene, Sutton is at home on FaceTime with Garcelle. She's running around because both boys have sports games. One of them sprung a game on her the last minute, so now she's on her way to do her motherly duties. We find out that the two of them are throwing a 40th birthday party or bash in Vegas for Crystal so she can let loose. And child, Crystal was MIA last episode. I almost forgot about her. And that's nice of them considering her and Sutton's past. Like, housewives love them some Vegas, don't they? They gonna go to Vegas if they don't go nowhere else. Sutton has invited the matchmaker over so she can meet somebody. Now, this is what I was thinking. In all of the fabulous circles that Sutton travels, you mean to tell me that you haven't met one eligible bachelor? Your rich friends don't know nobody. A retired oil tycoon. Somebody that's sitting on money, that's just sitting back and wants to sit on the dock of the bay with a woman like you, Sutton. A nice southern gentleman. They don't know anybody? Nobody. You are really traveling with a who's who. So I just don't understand this, baby. This just don't make no sense to me. Every season you're looking for a man. And I'm like, okay, we have to get Sutton some kind of storyline. If she's not arguing with Erica, she got to be doing something else. So I guess it would be looking for a man. But you looking for a man doesn't make sense to me because of your access. But maybe that's just me. So Sutton is telling her that she doesn't quite click with people. And she doesn't get asked out on a second date. Now, Sutton, the way you was acting at the end of this episode, I'm surprised you get asked out on the first day. Baby, take the stick out. Okay, just relax a little bit. Let your hair down, swing your hair back and forth. Get yourself together. I do not know why you are so uptight. I really don't get it. And we got to find you a man just as quirky as you are. Because, baby, I don't know if you're going to be able to mesh with anybody. So the matchmaker is telling her that they need to find her a man that will lead. Baby, Sutton was not here for it. She was like, a man lead me? Oh, no, ma'am. Now, I can kind of understand why she feels like that, because she's coming out of that marriage where he was calling all of the shots, even so much so he was only giving her an allowance. She didn't really have her own. So now that she's coming to her own and she's her own woman, she don't want no man leading her. So I kind of understand. In the next scene, Crystal makes an appearance. Hey, girl, where you been? Okay, good to see you show up for work. We missed you. Baby, you're going to be MIA if you don't do nothing else. So she's going out for lunch with her brother and her husband. So they're in the place and they're ordering, their food and everything. So they're sitting there. So she looks at her brother and she asked him if that place triggered him. And so her husband is like, why would it trigger him? What's going on? And she says because the bridal shower that she was throwing for him and his fiance was around the corner. So then Crystal is telling this story of how in 2020 her brother was engaged. Now, mind you, her brother is a huge pop star. Now, the way Crystal describes him, you would think he was 17 years old, but he's 41. Okay. So he is a huge pop star. The panini happened and her mom were scared and they told him to come to the States. So he came, but his fiance only had a Chinese passport, so she couldn't come. And so they broke up. And she feels like her brother blames her. The thing is, he could have stayed with her. He didn't have to come just because y'all asked him to come. That was his excuse to get out. And he ain't fooling me. A lot of relationships did not survive the quarantine. So you think he's going to survive her being in China and him being in the U.S.? And girl, get real. And he could not blame you because if he wanted to, he would. He would have stayed right there and they would have fought through it together and everything would have been everything. So he's telling her, that the two of them really haven't had the closure that they need. But he is ready to move on because he's ready to get married. So she's telling him, she met Rob when he was 40. So now the roles are reversed. And he's actually 20 years older than Crystal is. So she's turning 40. So Rob must be like 59 or 60. So he's like, what if I brought home someone 20 years younger than me? Would you be upset? No. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Baby, the brother has a confessional now. I guess anything to try to keep Crystal interesting. Crystal just bores me to tears. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, Crystal, you really can pack it the hell up. I tried, Crystal, and at some points I really do appreciate you in the scene, but I don't really know when you're ever in the scene. So we need to pack it on up. Moving forward. Kyle comes to pick up Dorit in the next scene in her new Range Rover, baby, $165,000. Ooh, honey, y'all remember when Housewives of every franchise would show you the price tag of every single thing that they bought, every single excursion that they took, every single bill that they paid, you will see the price tag. And I like that Beverly Hills still hangs on to that a little bit. Because we see that Kyle is in this $165,000 Range Rover, honey. I live vicariously through you, because some people don't even make that in a year. I'm like, oh, child, sometimes. And, you know, I can't just really say, oh, they're so out of touch, because that's the premise of these housewife shows. It's for us to see the women behind the gates. Now, you know, certain franchises have gotten away from that, but Beverly Hills always maintains that air of money. Okay, it smells like shmoney. So Dorit in the car, and she's like, she thinking they going to lunch. But Kyle tells us that they're really going to meet PK so he can surprise her for their anniversary. He's recreating Pretty Woman. So as they're riding, Dorit tells Kyle, you know, I just feel like something's going on with you, Kyle. I don't know what it is. Something's going on with you. So she asked her, how are you and Mauricio doing? She said, well, you know, he's just stressed out from a lot of work. So then Dorit says, in her confessional, you know, we always do double dates and couples things. And I mean, we haven't in a while, so I know something's up. Yeah, we know y'all like to do couples things because, look, I'm not going to forget. I don't care if everybody going up on a Tuesday for Dorit because she done changed that hair color. Dorit will forever, in my book, get the side eye for her treatment of others. Okay, because I don't forget things easily. We all saw as all four of you got together to laugh at the treatment of Garcel's son last season. And look how that turned out for all of you. I'm just saying. Moving forward. Now, maybe I'll come around and give Dorit another chance, but honey, for now, Dorit, because I don't think I forgot. So then Dorit goes, is there anything that would make you not want to be with Mauricio? Dorit, please leave the acting to Kyle. Because you know good and dang on well that you read them blogs. Just say, girl, I was reading the blogs because, baby, that mother-in-law came flat out and said it. Just say, girl, I was reading the blogs and they were saying that you and Mauricio when Mauricio went in Kylan no more. He done deleted all your pictures. You taking the pictures and tattooing the girl's name and the initial on the thing. It's too much going on, girl. So what's happening? So then Kyle was like, what makes you think that? What makes you think I don't want to be with Mauricio? Because you don't. Dorit said, well, it was IG. So then Kyle says, well, I just need some freedom and some space. Now, something is definitely going on. Now, at first I was like, Kyle, I'm not buying what you're selling. But after this episode, Mauricio did not look like he was acting. Or maybe he went off script or something. I don't know what's going on. This is getting on my nerves, though, Dorit, because you won't spit it out. You won't spit it out. Kyle is being all evasive. Just hurry up and get her to the Beverly Wilshire, honey, so we can see what's going down. So they get there. And Dorit is like, what's going on, Kyle? What are you doing? Like, you're scaring me. Meanwhile, back at Garcel's house, she's making plans to buy more crystals. And then she leaves and she gets to Sutton's house. One thing I love about Sutton, though, she gonna have a spread. You go to Sutton's house, you gonna eat. You gonna eat. And I have realized that about her. She is a great hostess. You will not go there without some cheese and crackers or something. She is going to make sure that you eat and you eat good. Y'all remember last season when Erica showed up to her house, baby? She had a full-on spread, honey. Popeyes, chickens, and biscuits, and all kinds of stuff. But Sutton, okay, because most people may not pay attention, but I pay attention to a whole lot of detail. Not you telling Garcelle, who didn't ask, that there's cornbread on the table. I don't know how I feel about that. You got the barbecue, so there's cornbread on the table. I'm like, why are you telling her about the cornbread? What that's supposed to mean? What that's supposed to mean? Sutton, now, don't piss me off. So they sit down and they start talking. Garcelle gets emotional and tells her that Jax thinks she's doing parenting all wrong. And I was like, oh, Garcelle, listen, all we can do is our best. I know it hurts to feel like, you know, you've disappointed your kids, but he's blessed and he's going to see it sooner or later. There's really nothing that you can do. It's really not. She said she thought she was being a good parent and she thought that he was being a brat, but she didn't realize that he was actually struggling. Now, you know, they do say when they start acting out, it could be something more. So with your busy schedule and always working, it could be that you missed some things, but you're trying to correct it now and it's not too late. Those kids are what, in the 9th grade or something like that? I think they just graduated from the 8th grade. There's still time. So Garcelle said he asked to live with his dad and that really hurt her. And I'm telling y'all right now, that would break me down. Do you hear me? That would break my heart. And yes, I know it's his father. And of course, the child needs both parents. But you want your babies close to you. And for them to come and say, I'm going to go live with dad, that would be heartbreaking. And she feels like he was trying to punish her in some way. I said, baby, that Jax is not to be played with. Do you hear me? Garcelle, you are being too hard on yourself. He's a teen. Okay, they have hormones that are raging and going crazy. It will get better. Talk to him and maybe give him some individualized attention. Although he thinks he knows everything, there are still more things to teach him. So all you can do is open the lines of communication, or maybe you and him can go to counseling together and see if you can work it out. Moving forward. So back over here with Dorit and Kyle at the surprise, Dorit is just now starting to kind of figure out what's going on. So she's pissed because she has to pour her own water. Dorit, if you're going to be anything this season, be very for real. Be for real. You better be glad you weren't married to my soon-to-be ex-husband, honey, because you would have been at the Hilton. Honey, shout out to Kathy. Baby, you wouldn't have been in no Beverly Wilshire. I'm telling you that right now. You might have been at the Motel 6 and they'll leave the light on for you. So you better be happy at what your husband is trying to do for you. So she wants to know who is with the kids. Now, that's a valid question, but I was just like, the same person that was with him when he's in London and you're filming. That person. So she's freaking out, asking if they know who's watching the kids. Her anxiety is acting up. The producers are like, you need to ask Kyle. She has all the answers. Dorit is like, look, I'm not going through with another scene until I know where my babies are. And I feel that. Dorit, I feel you. So she calls the babies on the phone. They're like, Mom, relax. We're in on it. Happy anniversary. Everything's fine. So now she feels better. The glam person is there with some red dresses. Dorit is like, I'm actually a stylist and a designer, and I like to pick out my own clothing. Ma'am, well, then why do you need a stylist? A stylist's job is to dress you. Okay. Dorit, just put on the dress and play along. You're getting on my nerves now. You are getting on my nerves. So after working my central nervous system, she decides to just go with the flow. Now, me personally, I think it's cute that he wanted to recreate the movie. I do. I think it's cute. So they meet up together and he presents her with a $5 million necklace, just like on the movie. He puts it on her. I'm sure it's rented, honey. It's probably been gone back. So then he takes her upstairs and there is Berlin serenading her with Take My Breath Away. But y'all, when I tell y'all I screamed when it said from Top Gun, not Pretty Woman. I said, I'm not gonna play with these producers. Now he got the song from Top Gun, honey. He got everything else right. A for effort. It was still sweet though. At least he's trying. PK had it decked out. Let me tell y'all, I just love romance. I love romance. And the fact that he had all those roses, and it was just beautiful to me. So when they sit down, they're opening up the caviar. She's like, okay, I got it. He says, you know what? I'm just not going to do surprises for you anymore. He feels like she's trying to control everything. She starts yapping and going on. She's speaking her speech. They going back and forth. And the whole time, I'm like, let's not argue over the caviar. Can we not? Okay, can we eat? Thank y'all. She does not want grand gestures. She wants help with the kids. Well, then say that. And he cannot be going up and down the street all day, every day. He can't be traipsing down to London. If you need help with the children, tell him that so that he can stay put. But I'm trying to figure out why Dorit always gets robbed when PK isn't around. It's quite suspicious. Things that make you go, I'm just trying to figure it out. Now, I ain't saying nothing. Okay, these are all my opinions. This is alleged. But I just really want to know, because 2 and 2 is equaling 19. Okay, it's not adding up. In the next scene, Kyle is at the house putting together a birthday dinner for Portia. So she done stuck this piñata in the middle of the table and threw down some confetti, honey, and that's it. So Mauricio and Kyle are in the house and they're in the kitchen. He over there eating out the guacamole, honey. Ain't put it in the plate or nothing. They being all fake. He go, hey, Love Bean, how you been? I'm like, please, with the Love Bean of it all. For goodness sakes, please spare us with the Love Bean. So then the people start to arrive. They're all mingling and talking. Portia finally comes down. And when she came down the stairs, I was just like, oh my gosh, it is so amazing to me to see how much she's grown. Like, she was literally a little bitty, like 3 or 4-year-old when we first met her. And now she's 15. That is crazy. So baby, Kyle's mother-in-law didn't waste no time. She pulls her to the side and she's like, why are people saying you and Mauricio are getting a divorce? Like, the blogs are saying it. Like, what's going on? So Kyle says, it's because they saw me with my ring off. That's it. Nah, that ain't the reason. It's other reasons, but the ring is not the primary reason. Because we probably wouldn't have even noticed that ring. I'm just saying. Whoever's over there leaking these stories to people, That's the culprit. And that's why people are saying what they're saying. So now she's all frantic. Oh my goodness. Only Kyle can find a way to be frantic over flautas. Baby, please sit down. Just sit down. Get you a margarita, girl. Get you a margarita and have a seat. Calm your central nervous system. Don't be all antsy and have all that nervous energy over these taquitos. Sit down. Okay? Just sit down. So at the table, Kyle looks at Mauricio and she asks him if his parents knew that she had tattoos. And he said no. So then she gets up and tells her anyway. So she gets up and she's like, oh, okay. And she said, yeah, you know, I have a tattoo. She said, yeah, I know that. And I know the girls have them too. As she's telling her that, she says, yeah, did you know Mauricio had a tattoo? So he comes into the kitchen and she's like, yeah, I was telling your mom that you have a tattoo as well. How old are you? How old are the both of you, Kyle? You got 3 or 4 kids, but you're afraid of what she'll think of a tattoo? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Mauricio is Jewish. So maybe that's the reason why he did not want to tell his parents about that tattoo. Oh, and speaking of parents, Mauricio looks identical to his dad. When I say identical, he was standing over there in that corner. I said, look at Mauricio. In about 20 years, look just like him. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. But Kyle, you know you told her about that on purpose. So you were not the only one out there. You are childish. And I'm pretty sure that these are the same stunts that you used to pull as a kid. This is not your childhood. Grow up. I would have been pissed if I was Mauricio as well, because it's not about the fact that she told and they're adults. You are telling something that I haven't told them. If I wanted them to know, I would have told them. So then she lied about how she said it because he walked off. Now he's pissed. Y'all are ruining this party. Sit down and shut it up. So baby, now they're bickering. And I was just like, what is this? Are we going to talk about tattoos every episode? And Mauricio, we ain't seen you this much in I don't know how many seasons. Child, this right here is a fool. In the next scene, Crystal is packing for her birthday trip. Sutton's pulling out her little black dress. Garcelle is doing the shake machine, honey, to try to get her exercise on. I guess she's trying to get her Vegas body. They're all getting themselves together to get ready for this trip. And they're starting with the trips pretty early. This is the 2nd episode, and they're already on the way to the trip. Okay, let's get it started. So everyone is showing up to charter the private plane, courtesy of Kyle. So they're chartering this private plane to Vegas. Does Kyle still have flight anxiety? Y'all remember when she used to freak out on those planes? I know somebody said last season, I believe, she got hypnotherapy. And so now she can fly, because she used to freak out. So when I saw her get on that PJ, I was like, is Kyle okay? Anywho, on the way there, Crystal opens her birthday present and Garcelle is telling them the itinerary. And so Erica is like, Crystal, I'm going to take you to Magic Mike. Okay, my treat. So everybody's talking about what they're going to wear and how they're going to do and how they're going to be. So Sutton goes, yeah, you know, we can have fun. We can have dinner. We can fight. Erica said, you know what? I gave up fighting for Lent. I did. Then she decides to play in my face. She gets in that confessional and says, some higher power, I'm telling you, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was God. I don't know who it was. They told me, I heard a voice. They said, give up fighting for Lent. Erica, you really should write children's books, honey. The amount of folklore and the imagination that you have, it's crazy. It's given imagination station. Ma'am, what are you talking about? You gave up fighting because you're outnumbered and Rena's gone and you don't want to be on an island by yourself. You're a fish out of water. You should have given up lying for Lent. Girl gone. So they get there after listening to Erica lie. They get there and they get to their rooms or whatever. The suite is sickening. 15,000 square feet, y'all. Now, I know this don't make no damn sense because it will just be me. But I will book this suite for my next birthday. Because I'm just extra like that. Okay. Extra, extra. I'm very extra. I am going to rent out this suite and utilize all 15,000 square feet of it. For no reason. Because it was just everything. Do you hear me? Side note. Dorit, what is this 1997 around the way girl ponytail that you have in your head? It reminds me of the spritz ponytails that we used to wear in the 90s. The black girls would get the ponytail. You get the track hair from the hair store. You put some rollers in it with a little bit of gel and some spritz. You put it in the microwave. Yes, I did say microwave, honey. I'm putting y'all up on game. This is how we used to get ourselves together back in the 90s. You take it out. The whole house smell like burnt hair, child. But you know you're finna be giving all the zhuzh when you go to school the next day. You get it out. You put it on your head. You pull some of those curls out, and then you swoop that little thing to the side. Dorit is giving, I need an around the way girl. Honey, shout out to LL Cool J. Dorit. Girl, that ponytail took me back, honey. I said, not a spritz ponytail, honey. If you know, you know. So they get there. They get to the rooms and whatnot. Sutton had her people come ahead and take over the entire room and leave Garcelle with crumbs. Basically a corner in the closet. I was like, figures. And Garcelle, you such a pushover. You let them do whatever they gonna do, child. So don't complain, honey. You get what you get and you don't pitch your fit. 4 hours later. So, child, we see them at the Thunder Down Under. It's getting super raunchy. Erica got them legs spread eagle, honey, wide into the side. And then Sutton gets up and storms off. And she's like, F this, take my effing mic off right now. I get that you're mad, Sutton, for whatever reason. I guess we're going to find out next episode. But, ma'am, it's Vegas. If you didn't want to see them get down low, then you should have gone to Martha's Vineyard. Because, baby, this is not the place for that. This is not the place for that. This is Vegas. Okay? And what happens in Vegas, unless it's being recorded for all of us to watch on season 13, stays in Vegas. Sutton, get yourself together. Get yourself together. You don't do well on girls' trips. I've noticed that. Since you have been a part of the cast, you have not done well on any cast trip. And we're going to have to change that. Now, I don't know exactly what she mad at, but we'll see next episode because that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. I tried to zhuzh it up for y'all. You know, give it a little oomph, a little je ne sais quoi. Because there wasn't really much happening. But now we really finna get down to it, baby, because they in Vegas. And every time they go on a trip, you know it's finna go down. Y'all comment down below and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.